Hey guys, DB Right here, and this is for those of you who have been requesting me doing a animation tutorial. Now, this is actually a pre-drawn part of the next episode for What If Goku Was a Super Saiyan during the Saiyan arc, so for part 3. But for this part, this particular image is not going to spoil anything, but I am just going to use this as an example on how I animate. Now, the first step is always pre-draw your scenes, or also known as storyboarding. Like this image here is pretty much a storyboard, though when I storyboard, I tend to draw it up as best and as close to the end result as I can, because I use the storyboarding opportunity to work on my art, to work on my Dragon Ball art or whatever animated project it is I'm doing. So it makes sense. So step one is get really good at your art. Get a program and start practicing. Now, program I use here is GIMP, which by the time you download it, it'll probably be a different version than mine, but the basic controls should still be the same. So you got box select, free select, yeah, bucket fill, pencils, and I'm not gonna color Vegeta here, but I'm gonna give you an idea on how I do an animation. Now, let's say I want to change Vegeta's background, get him out of this just this black background behind him. This is step one. I'm gonna want to draw the background first. So when I say draw out your scenes, draw them out like you're working on a web comic. Yeah, yeah, action scenes, whatever it is, draw it out like a comic. You won't have every single frame of the animation in a comic, but you'll have your start and your ending point. If you don't know what I mean by that, I shall show you. So where the animation starts, where the animation ends, basically. So him with Vegeta with his arm out like that is actually the end point to this animation. We're gonna animate to before he raises his fist like that, for example. Now, I'm gonna have to work pretty quickly because I really don't have much recording time. So the first thing I want to do is right click, go down to layer, go to new layer, and why is this thing in my road? I hope it's showing when I'm recording the different actions I'm doing. If it's not, that's why I'm talking as well. So right click, you go down to where it says layer, gives you a new layer, gives you a blank screen like this. Now, there's a little eye icon down right hand corner of the app or the program. And when I hit that, Vegeta comes back. Now I'll click on the Vegeta layer and I'll take the opacity down to about 50%. So see how Vegeta's sort of faded in there now? But again, the first thing I'm going to want to do is draw a background. But while we've got that here, I will quickly draw the end point, which basically means all I'm going to be doing here is tracing over Vegeta. Make sure you select the correct layer. We want the blank layer. So I'm going to quickly trace out Vegeta here. Go in a bit closer if you want to keep your lines a bit more accurate. But since this is an example and don't have much time, I'll try to get us through this bit as quickly as I can. And yes, this is time consuming. Takes me hours to do 50 frames. So it's a lot of work. Now for this, I'm going to draw Vegeta exactly as he is here, because him raising his fist is my ending point to the animation. In other words, where the animation ends. Well, like I said, I'm not looking for perfect points here. As you guys know, this is just an example. If anyone is saying that my artwork is improving every time I animate, good. It's kind of what you want, especially when starting out. Even I'm starting out, even though I've attempted quite a few animation projects before. So I actually may as well color this Vegeta because he's just blank on that screen there. And if I put him in a background, he'll actually be colored. That's okay, we can... Oh. Oh, man. I see, I didn't do that side of his hair. That'll be right. Oh! Right, there we go. Oops, got his glove there. No problem. Alright, I basically colored Vegeta. As you can see here, he's blank, no background in front or behind him at the moment. But that's about to change. So we'll go back down to the first layer. And we'll go new layer. And we're going to want to do this a couple of times. Put a couple more layers in for his animation. And for now we can turn off the endpoint. So now we just want to draw a background. Any old background will do. Like as I said before, this is rushed. So let's give him a mountain range. I'm not going to bother drawing all the little rocks and little mountain points or anything like that in there. Just a nice basic mountain range. How much top recording time do I got left? Okay, about half used it. Ah, sorry about that. As you can see, I'm using the pencil tool there. It's not Yeah, it won't come up with all the other little screens I'm using. That's a bit of a problem. So you can't really see what it is I'm actually clicking on. Hmm. But I still hope that this gives you a basic idea of what it is I'm doing. So, just draw in some clouds. Yes, some clouds. Everything's nice and happy. Now, good thing about the background is we only got to draw this once. So, as you can see, since it's the top layer, it covers the original Vegeta layer behind it. Hey, Vegeta! We'll just use this for our mountains. Alright, and that's our background. So if I switch the top layer on, boom, there he is in our little backdrop. Cool. When you draw this out in webcomic form, you should do the same thing. Get used to drawing your background first in a different layer, and drawing your characters in a separate layer. Keeps your background clean. By that, you ever see those old animations when the character moves his hand in the way of the background, and they the animator makes small mistakes like doesn't fill in that space perfectly, and it looks like the mountain's moving on its own. Yeah, that's to avoid that kind of mistake. I like to do my character animations in a separate layer to where I do the background animations, if there's a background animation. Alright, so now what I want to do. Actually, I'm gonna edit that. I forgot something on that Vegeta on our Vegeta here. Forgot I wanted him smiling in the end brain. Again. Dolt! So now he's got a little smirk on his face. Alright, now I'm gonna turn him off and turn the background off again. And I'm gonna trace over Vegeta again. Over this Vegeta again. And this time I'm gonna be very, very quick about it. So I'm not gonna bother zooming in this time. So this will look a bit, dare I say, dodgy, because the lines aren't going to match up perfectly. But like I said, I've got 30 minutes recording time. This is just to give you guys an idea on how I animate. And this is how I do everything when I animate. Exactly. No, no matter the movements, what the characters are doing, this is how I do it. So yeah, it's, like I said, guys, time consuming. Not willing to put the time in, then well then you shouldn't be animating. The results I got on the recent "What If Kine Escape with Goku" episode. That's how I got those results. That's why Gine looks exactly like Gine. I pre-drew that animation first. the other ones I did, the previous two episodes of What If Goku was a Super Saiyan during the Saiyan arc. Those were out of my head. But with the Gine one, I remembered I was doing a webcomic. I was going to make a webcomic version of that. So I had most of that pre drawn. There's enough What If Gine to What If Gine Escape with Goku to cover at least, I think, 5 episodes, 5 animated What Ifs episodes. So now that I've seen that result, I'm going to be doing that for all my animations from now on. Check on that recording time again. Oh crap. Alright, this might have to be a two-parter. Well, won't be a two-parter for the video. I can edit the two videos together. No problem. Alright, and we are back. Sorry for that little interruption. By the way, when adding new layers, in case I didn't make it clear, this little box here is a new layer. It's a blank layer. To add more blank layers, um, since we couldn't see me do it the right clicking way, you can also do it just by clicking on this little icon here. Boom. Now, when you click that, another screen pops up and it'll say create a new layer. All you do is just go to the bottom, hit OK, and the new layer appears. So there's now two blank layers, and before there was only one. Hit Control Z to undo. There you go. Anyway, as we were doing this. Hmm. Alright. Comes to drawing Dragon Ball Z characters, I find the ears are the hardest to do. Don't know why, but they just are. But that's okay. When you're doing fan projects, I find you don't want the characters to turn out looking exactly like they are in the original manga or TV shows. That's how you get cease and desist, or I think that's the right terminology. Cease and desist, yeah, cease and desist orders. Haven't you guys noticed I never draw Goku's insignia? So again with color. Like I said before, this is the foundation on how I animate everything. Exact same technique. Whether the character's flying, fighting with another character, it's all done with layers. That's how my animation stays clean. By that I mean the characters are moving. You can tell they're moving, but the background is staying where it should be. Alright, so now, all I want to do now is to turn the first layer off, the black and white Vegeta down the bottom. Hit the layer with the background layer, layer number 1 over here. So yes, eye icon means on. When you don't see it, it's off. See? Whee! Now, we just zoom out so we get the whole picture here. Alright. Now look at Vegeta. See? Got an animation here. And I made a slight boo-boo. I wasn't supposed to have that hand there the second time around. But don't worry, I can fix that. Got a little carried away there when I was tracing them. You see? I make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. Oh. Do. Fix up that line a little bit. There we go. Now look at him. Yeah. Oop. Zoom out, of course. And there we go. Got a bit of an animation there. Look at me, I'm invincible. I am the mighty Prince of Saiyans, Vegeta. Ha ha. Bring it on, Kakarot. Woo. That's all there is to it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry you couldn't see the little screen pops up when I was using the tools. I don't know why that is. I mean, screen record should record everything you do. I don't know. It's clip champ. It's clip champ. What can I say? Um, but at least you could see that I was using the pencil tool to do all the tracing. I did show you how you can still create the layers without right clicking necessarily. I at least talked us through it as well. So, yep, for my first animation tutorial, um, I do expect you guys to be brutal. Alright, this is DB Rice signing off, and I will catch you guys again next time.